want some backup.
Good evening. It is Tuesday, September 12th, 6 PM. I call this meeting of the North Brookfield Board of Selectmen to order. If you all rise and salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, so first thing we have is approval of minutes. I'll entertain a motion to approve minutes from May 9th, 2023.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Nope. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next, we have the approval of the warrants. I'll entertain a motion to approve payroll warrant number 6 for $329,244.52. General warrant number 1016 for $105,429.66. General warrant number 1017 for $34,250. School warrant number 1014 for $103,321.49. And school warrant number 1015 for $2,139.32.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
Nope.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. We have a request from Highway. Is that this here?
Yes.
All right. So it's anticipated spending, a hydraulic motor for the sander.
Barrel grease?
Yeah, highway vehicle account, looks like 125 pounds of barrel grease. $500. Then snow and ice, we have a muffler for the 2000 sander and welding steel for the plows for 800 and 500, not in that order. So it's 8. And then salt neutralizer, it's the ice chemical for 700. So 15 to 20. 2,750. The account line item is 15,000. I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Highway, what is highway vehicle account? I think it's 20, or 20, 250? The second one in red.
$500, 125-pound barrel.
It's a barrel of grease that they use. They
Yeah,
have
all
a
I'm
pump
saying
that
is-
greases the,
He just
trucks.
identified a different
Oh,
account for
yeah,
that one,
that's-
that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
the
snow
rest
and
is
ice
snow
was
and ice,
one,
and
and
that was highway vehicle.
highway vehicles the other.
There's no balance.
And no balance, I don't know what's in there, but
I'm sure there's
I,
plenty.
I would assume so.
All right. So,
I moved.
you moved?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
No.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, we have a emergency management request.
Mine was on the back of the highway. Was it? Okay.
Says the signboard needs to be repaired as soon as possible. Two major issues are, one, when lowering the board, the cable lets go and the board slams down while the crank flies in a circle. It's a safety hazard, and two, the display is not currently turning on, so we can't use it for messages at the moment. Quote for repairs is $550. Well, I'll entertain a motion to approve repairing that sign.
So moved.
Second.
Motion's made and seconded. Any further discussion?
Nope.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
We have the one-day liquor license request from Still Hearts that we approved for September 16th. We're amending it to October 7th. I'll entertain a motion to do that.
So moved.
Second?
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
No.
Nope.
Great, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. All right, so next we have new business. We want to appoint a new full-time officer. We've gone over the numbers and it looks like it's more economical to hire a full-time officer than to not hire one. And your name's not on here. What's that?
Perfect.
All right. Why don't you tell us your name and a little bit about yourself and,
So my name's Nicholas Newman. I've been a resident here since 2013. I live over on Elm Meadows, the condominiums over there. Been employed now by the police department for a little over a year. Went through the academy in 2019. Was appointed back in 2020. So recently put myself through the remaining full-time academy for the bridge, the new regulations they have in the state. And that's where I'm at right now, looking to stay here full-time.
now you say you put yourself through the Bridge Academy?
So there was a portion of the academy, police academy, that was left over from the reserve that we had to go through in order to get approval for full-time status. So that's what I ended up doing myself the last 6 months.
And Nicholas Newman?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to appoint Nicholas Newman to, as a full-time police officer. So,
Second?
any discussion?
No.
He knows the ropes, and Chief Smith is good with him, so I'm good with him too.
And you can handle the sergeant, okay?
Most days.
I'm working on that.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Welcome aboard.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Sorry?
Think
There you go.
I memorized all that stuff. Before you-
You're not staying for the whole meeting?
You can, if you want, I'll give you the floor.
No, I'm all set. I mean, he said everything I was gonna say, and just to add to it, that, yes, we talked with the board as well as the finance committee and the difference in finances. But one of the things, when we were down and out at the end of last budget, we would have been, if you think our overtime budget was shot this last year, Mr. Newman saved us plenty by working a lot of shifts for us that would have went to overtime. So he's put the time in the past year. I'm sure he's got his hours to be, or pretty close to, needed for the post part of it. But in talking with everybody here, he certainly was trial by fire. He stood strong. I mean, he learned fast because he had to learn fast, and he's done a great job. And I thank you for the appointment, and he's definitely going to be an asset to the department. So I thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
The East Brookfield Town Beach letter, I'd like to pass over that until next time. All right. Chief, you're up.
Hi, good evening, everybody, thank you. Just wanted to address the turnout gear issue and how we can do it financially and, do it, obviously reasonable for the town's finances and everything. So, that last lease is running out this year for the 12 sets that we had purchased, the fire decks, pants and coat. And that lease ran us around just over $8,000 each season. That was put in the line item. So the plan originally was with the capital plan and each year I kept mentioning, we were hoping to carry the lease through to get the other 18 sets for the 30 altogether. We knew it'd be more by going 18 sets, and we knew the price of the gear was gonna go up. But it went up substantially. The stuff has gotten extremely expensive, it's ridiculous. I called the chairman of the District 7 chiefs, talked to them about what their thoughts were on the 10-year stand, the research they've done on the gear. But they found that the gear breaks down after 10 years, even if you're not using it. So of course, pretty much any fire we go into is at least 400 or 500 degrees, no matter what we do, if not 1,000. And so to make this easier, because I know it's so expensive, we originally asked for possibly to do the 18 sets, and Ashley asked if we could look at it differently from your perspective, a little bit differently on how we could do it. And I thought we could probably easily try to rotate maybe 6 sets. If you guys if we could find a way to purchase 4, I could ask for 2 sets through the state grant. And we can get up to $12,500 on the state grant. And every single year since I've been here for the 5 years, I've gotten that grant. That grant's usually pretty solid. Last year, we didn't get the full amount, but for the turnout gear, we might get the full amount. The only thing is, we also need 30 hoods, the Nomex hoods that we wear under the helmets to protect the guys' faces and stuff. Those are all outdated, so we've slowly but surely gotten everything up to speed in the NFPA under 10 years. New helmets through the grant, all that stuff. So needless to say, we got the 18 sets now. Out of that 18 sets, we have a few new folks that aren't gonna go into building fires at this point. And we have some pump operators out there. That's what the District 7 chief that I talked to in Sutton, he said what he's been trying to do is, because of the expense, purchase 4 or 5 sets each year and get a rotation going, and pass the older gear that's over 10 years to his pump operators and to his, not that that's the best thing to do, but it's an option. And God forbid, you go down to like Country Auto and have a levy on a propane tank that sends a 1/4 mile fireball radius, and you got a pump operator in 13-year-old gear, you know what I mean? Because it's gonna come back to haunt us, guaranteed. After the 2 firefighters in Boston and Back Bay burned, this became a major issue about their turnout gear, because they actually burned through the heat down there, and they talked to them the whole time. When they weren't in the fire, they were in another space, talking to them on the radio, but the heat took them. So it's a major issue. It's the only place that the chiefs and I have discussed that the air packs and the turnout gear is the one place they just don't want to cut corners on the 10-year. A lot of the NFPA stuff that comes out, we do our own hose testing, we do our own pump testing, which they require that all being done. But we document it, we do all that, because there was no way in our budget we could do that stuff that way. So we try to save as much as we can. So I just don't know what's comfortable for you guys, and I know this is a tough year, and you know me, I get it. I don't know if we could do 4 sets and get 2 maybe through the grant, and I could use the other. I could get 2 sets at just under 8,000. That would leave me enough to get hoods on the first year of grant if we get the grant, which I feel pretty confident we would. That would get us 6 sets, and we'll move that into the people that our primary folks that are still working interiorly with us, that are pretty aggressive firefighters, because we got 12 now that they're in our prime people, and then we have people that are just going in. The gear that's out there, the 18 sets is still just under the 10-year. It's going to be breaking out of the 10-year this year.
As of January.
So, I don't mind a little push and give on it, you know what I mean? I think we'd be okay.
So we still have a little bit of wiggle room to figure out where we're going to get the money
exactly.
from.
If we go a year or 2, because even the stuff to get it is a couple, 3 months out, if not more sometimes. So we knew we were going to hit the mark. I'm comfortable with drawing it out a little bit, It's just one of those things. When they put these rules down and you find out all this information, it's costly, and it's killing all the chiefs, So they've all kind of started rotations. I did put in for all the sets through the AFG grant 4 years ago, and it got turned down, and that's a high priority grant. But I've gotten a lot better with my grant writing in the years. The state grant is a pretty good grant, it's pretty solid, but I don't know how long that's gonna go. Could go only a couple more years and then funding's gonna dry up. I don't know for sure. But we could do the same thing next season and get another 6 sets that way, maybe 7 if I could do all 3 under the state grant. It's just there are other things that we've been buying that we really needed, that we've been doing through the grants and not trying to hit you guys up for it.
Yeah.
You know, so, I just don't know what would be comfortable, you know, that you would be comfortable with financially and what we, you know, 4 to 6 sets would move our
Well-
good people into, you know what I
Well,
mean?
right now, we're trying to figure out where we're gonna have money to balance the budget
Yeah,
that we already have
I know.
this year. So,
Right,
you know, having a little bit of time to figure out where we're gonna get it is helpful.
yeah.
You had something?
Yeah, Chief, when you came to the Finance Committee, you said that it's pretty long lead time to get these.
It can be,
It
yes,
can be.
but they did tell me that they bumped it up
For
around.
this year, we would have to put a deposit down. How much of the 22 would we have to put down?
They didn't take a deposit the last time. I
Oh,
don't
they didn't?
remember, no.
So
He'll order the gear,
Could-
but
if we order it now, could the gear actually be coming into 2025, a payment, or not really?
that's, yeah, we looked, again, when we looked at the leasing, if we choose to lease the gear, the interest rate's gone up from, the original lease, we were at 3.79 for the 12 sets, but in the 4-year period, we now would be at 5.98%, and if we buy anything less than $50,000 worth, it goes to 6.9.
Yeah, it was 7%.
Yeah, 7%.
So we
Which
would
is
really want to
costly,
do that.
so, that's why I'm wondering if, you know, and they had a good idea too, if we could get a better rotation instead of these big chunks.
Yeah.
We needed it because this hadn't been done before, so we got the 12, and that really put us, our primary people in some really good gear, and we were able to pass the blow that was on the last lease up to everybody. So everybody's compliant right now, you know, the way it sits. It's just we're gonna run into it, so. If we could maybe get into a rotation of 6 a year or 4 a year and get that into the budget, you know, so that it's just rolling and we're rolling it over, because he's gonna be dealing with the same problem when the 12 sets run out, when I leave, you know? So we need to kind of get that rotation going.
So you've been paying 8 on your lease?
Yes,
Is that 8,000 still in your budget?
yes.
So.
But I think some
You
of the
mentioned
fun-
22,000.
I'm sorry.
You've got 22,000 here that'll get,
Yeah, the 18 sets would bring us to that with the new interest rate.
yearly?
Yes.
Instead of the 8,000?
Yeah.
Okay, what would the 4 sets be?
Well, if we just bought right now, if we bought 3 sets outright, it'd be $11,250, and I would apply for 2 sets through the state grant. That would give me 5 sets. If we did 4 sets of gear outright and just purchased it and not pay the interest rates, it'd be $15,000. And again, I could apply for 2 or 3 sets with the grant.
But you've been spending 8,000.
Yes,
Regardless,
yeah, for
so-
the last 4 years.
So
it's
if you
been-
figure on your 8,000 and then to make up the difference to the 15,
Yeah,
it'd be 7.
yeah, well, the
Okay.
8, yeah. It
If you
goes up
bought-
quite a bit because of the cost of the gear, you know?
Right, but what I'm saying is you've been spending 8, so if you're looking for 15, you need 7,
Right.
basically.
Yes,
If-
yes,
If your
exactly.
8,000 is still in your
Yeah,
budget.
if you were to purchase 6 sets, total of 22, I apply for 2 sets, okay, these were the options I was trying to throw out here. But the original cost, total cost, because if you do it through the leasing payment, we go from 74,000 altogether for the 18 sets to, you're gonna end up paying 85,963 with the interest rate in the end.
Right, but we don't have that one right now.
Yeah,
That's,
but I just didn't know maybe if we could purchase, if we could find enough money to purchase maybe 3 to 4 sets, let me get 2 or 3 through the grant. That'll rotate into the next set and then try to get it into the budget for the following year, you know? So we get the rotation of 6 sets moving.
I have a question, Joe. The $8,000 that's in your budget, do you have to make a payment this year on that, or is that lease is
Yeah,
done?
no, this month, I think it's this month.
Okay, so you basically be
last.
looking for the full 15,000, if that's what we're going for?
Yeah, for next year. Yeah, this year would be taken care of, yeah, we'd have another year
Okay,
to.
so it'd be next year, in that line item, you're looking for 15, well, no, because would it be a,
The 8 he would, originally would have had,
Yeah.
and then bump it
And
up
then-
to
Yeah, we
7, so
bump
it
it
would
up.
be 15.
Yeah. 'cause
and then that would be a one-time purchase, not a lease payment, right?
No,
No, that's the lease.
that would be the
That would
lease for another 4 years.
Oh, okay, so it's, okay.
Yeah, and I think some of it, I don't know where some of the funding for the 8 came from, and I did, you know, so,
I think I'm misunderstanding, because I thought that was a one-time payment, that you were paying it outright, not going through a lease if we were doing less sets.
We said we were gonna buy 4 sets.
if we did that, then there's no lease involved.
Right.
You know.
Yeah, so then there's no.
That's
fee.
where the
Yeah,
15 came from, I thought,
Oh, yeah, yeah, it would be,
And that's
so
not a
4
lease.
sets would be 15,000
to buy.
to buy.
It's ours.
There'd be
No
ours,
lease,
and then if I
yes.
got 2 or 3 sets through the grant, that gives us 7 sets, 6 or 7 sets.
Right.
Yeah.
And then if we did the same thing this following year, so there will be a lapse of time that some of the
Right.
firefighters will be in gear that's over its time frame, but we make sure, I don't wanna call it the low profile area, you know, being the newer firefighters that we're not sending into building fires right now, and/or pump operators.
Yeah.
That's what some of the other chiefs are doing. I mean, if we're really crunched, that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So when we
So
had
what would
it,
the-
where it's
What would the effect
not a lease if
in
you buy it for outright.
2024
Right, right,
be
yeah,
on
that's
a
what I-
cash
Well, then he said it
basis?
was the lease.
We have to pay the lease of
Don't make
8,
sense.
and we pay 15 for 4 sets. There'd be a cash outflow of 23,000 for 2024.
No, this lease is done, will be, yeah, yes, yeah, because you're gonna dish out 8,000 now to pay this payment, this
Right.
last payment,
Okay.
correct. And then we would have to
So that
purchase,
would still be
we would
a
still,
burden on our current budget.
Yeah, you're
deficit.
still, at the end of the day, for this fiscal year, you're looking for, if we go with the $15,000.
Yeah.
Because that 8 is already
yeah,
accounted
the
for.
8's already
Yeah,
accounted.
and then next year, you're just looking for 15,000 flat if you were gonna continue to purchase new
You know, it
equipment.
drives us crazy because, you know, we take good care of our stuff, oh, we really do.
Mm-hmm.
It drives me crazy to look at it, but to read the data that they put out with the NFPA, as a result of it, is what scares you. It has a lot of deteriorating factors that we can't see by eye.
Mhm.
So that's the part that, but it drives the chief crazy because, you know, you look at the gear and say, geez, stuff, these guys didn't hit, only hit a half a dozen good fires this year, and this stuff looks pretty good. I don't know if we wanna risk that, you know, you don't wanna risk it, I know I don't as chief wanna risk it.
So what's our timeline for finding this money?
Well, the gear runs out this year, so if we.
Right, because you have to order it at a certain point.
Yeah. I
It
think
runs
we-
out January 1. When do you have to order it by to have?
It's about a six weeks,
16.
16 weeks now?
After September, they said it'd only be about a 16-week.
Yeah, that's right, 16 weeks.
As to where it had been running a year and a half to 2 years for
Oh,
gear,
wow.
they're catching up.
But I don't mind kind of working at a rotation of some kind.
Right.
You know, what we're comfortable with to pass on to that secondary firefighters, you know, say we label them 1, 2, 3. In the 2 section, we got them into the new gear. You know, so we know these guys are gonna be a lot more active and working, but it's only, again, if we only have to do it that way, you know what I mean? I'd feel better if it was, everybody was in the fresh gear, period. But, you know, our numbers in the station, because we're always taking people in, vary from 28 to 32 all the time. That seems to be a bounce with people coming and going and training. So there's always a few new folks in there that we leave them in the older gear because we don't mind them training in,
Right.
you know? It's-
All right.
So it's just something to talk about, maybe how we wanna split it up or get something going.
Well, we're gonna need to look at where we're gonna be able to get the money from first,
Yeah.
and then we can talk about splitting it up.
Yeah,
and
no,
all
I
that stuff.
understand. So we appreciate it.
Right.
But we'll try to work with you as much as we can to make it as easy as possible. But I'm definitely willing to put in for the grant, you know, for 2 to 3 sets, as long as that state grant comes out. And that takes a chunk, you know, that's, you know, roughly almost $4 grand a piece.
Right, now, do you have to buy some to apply for the grant, or can you just apply for the grant and
No. No, I applied for the grant.
regardless?
Yeah, if I apply for the grant, and we get the grant, then we go to the, we have to get the contract back like we always did with the
Mhm.
contract. But we've gotten a lot of great gear from that, all the new helmets, all that stuff has been through that state grant. I also have a VFA grant opens up again, that's the matching grant, but that's only good for a couple grand. So, I mean, pairs of gloves and hoods and stuff
Mhm.
like that, you know.
Sure. All right.
No problem. I'll put some more numbers together in different things and get it to your office with a breakdown of, might make it easier for everybody to see, you know, with the
All right.
lease, without the lease, the purchase, and that.
Perfect.
That'd be great.
Okay, guys, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
All right. So next we have a resignation letter from Capital Improvement Planning Committee. It says, please consider this communication my official resignation from the North Brookfield Capital Improvement Planning Committee. Warm regards, Michelle Petrides. So I'll entertain a motion to accept Michelle Petrides' resignation.
Okay.
All right, any discussion?
We'll miss you.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
I,
All right. Next, we have an appointment, Joe Trentacosta to Capital Improvement Planning Committee. And you know what you're getting into?
No,
All right.
well, I didn't know what I was getting into in the finance committee either.
Yeah, well, you've been on the Finance Committee for a while now.
Yes, it's been fun.
All right. And you've been helping out a great deal. I think we all understand that. So I'll entertain a motion to appoint Joe Trentacosta to the Capital Improvement Planning Committee.
So moved.
second.
All right, motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion?
The capital
Thank you.
improvement planning will be just as much fun as finance.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, you'll have to get sworn in for that too.
Okay.
So just see Tara at some point. All right, now we have another appointment. Tara Hayes, she's the town clerk. She wants to be appointed to the Council on Aging
As an alternate.
as an alternate,
Mhm.
okay? She says because she's becoming a senior citizen, have an elderly citizen living with her, and she wants to help the community, help seniors. And she does a lot for the community. I think most people know her. I will entertain a motion to appoint Tara Hayes to the Council on Aging as an alternate.
So
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any discussion? Nope. All right, all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Let's see. So the next thing is a sewer net DMR subscriber agreement. You want to read that letter?
Sure.
Thanks.
Presented along with this letter is a request for authorization to the Central Data Exchange, CDX platform, also known as the Net DMR, for the EPA. Recently, US EPA issued a general permit for small wastewater facilities in Massachusetts and New Hampshire, grouping together many facilities into this updated permit. Within this permit, as is also in our current permit, is the requirement to enter all monitoring data into the Net DMR system. This included document is the authorization from the governing body of the town, Board of Selectmen, to allow the sewer superintendent to access Net DMR, upload and submit the monitoring data and required reports for the facility. This update is needed due to the permit number changing and the previous authorization only being valid for the previous permit number.
Why would they have DMR when it's CDX?
It looks like
What does the DMR stand for? They throw all these letters out at you and they don't explain what they are. The first one does, Central Data Exchange. But I read most of what I don't see it anywhere. I know it's just what you plug into, but why don't they just explain it, what it is first? It'd just be DMR. CDX platform known as Net DMR for the EPA, US EPA. Government OP.
Do you want me to get an answer for you for next time?
No, I'm good. I was just
Discharge.
curious what it was, the DMR.
Discharge monitoring report is DMR, so
Where-
it's like net is internet
Where's that?
online.
Oh, you Googled it?
I
Okay.
Googled it,
All right,
we have the technology.
all right.
Discharge
Look it up on
monitoring.
Google.
That's right.
All
What
right.
is discharge monitoring?
Discharge monitoring report.
Through the central data exchange.
Just in case somebody
I
asks me on the
guarantee-
street what
I
it is.
guarantee you Jim will include that in his next letter to us.
Yeah, what-
All right.
I'm just saying, someone could ask me tomorrow when I'm getting my coffee, what is the DMR? Now I know.
All right. Well, I will entertain a motion to authorize the request to join the Central Data Exchange, also known as the Net DMR. Okay. So,
Second.
motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Turns out we need a new copier. And the old copier is junk.
Well, the copier itself is not junk, but we can no longer get supplies for it. And the company that we're currently using will no longer return phone calls or emails.
Why?
They went through some type of change, and the rep we had left a while ago, and the new rep, I was specifically told, will not be returning my phone calls or emails. So
Well, that's
we need to go with a new company.
good business practices there. All right. So we have a contract here for Rico USA, right?
Yes, I have contracts for Rico or Usherwood. And the way the pricing works is there's a monthly fixed rate and then you get charged per copy. So Rico's is a little more expensive at .0087 per copy. Usherwood's is a little less expensive per copy at .0046, but their monthly rate is about $20 higher. So I don't have a full idea of how many copies we make, but based off my assumption, I do think Rico would be the better option. And we have had Rico in the past, and we've never had any issues with them. They've been excellent. I'm sure Usherwood is fine too. I've just never had dealings with them, so.
Okay.
And these are black and white copies, I assume, and not
Only,
color.
yeah, we're doing only black and white. It's a very slow copier, because that brought the price down quite a bit. It does staple, but that's it.
Okay.
It copies, it prints, it scans,
So the
and that's it.
Rico's cheaper, and they've worked with us before?
Yes.
All right.
And I was personally in the office when Ashley was dickering over the internet with them.
I pinned them against each other and made them fight, and, well, not fight, but I kept going back and forth, well, I got this price from this company, I got this, so they both came down as far as they could, and the last communication I got from both of them was basically, this is the lowest I can possibly go without losing money, so.
And we thank you for that.
Yeah, because originally, they both were much higher, but,
It was like you were at a tag sale, dickering with them.
yep, I got it down as far as I possibly could.
And does that include service, like if anything?
Yeah, it includes service, toner, any parts, labor, staples, stuff like that. So it would just be paying for the lease amount and then the per copy amount. But if anything was wrong with the machine, I call them up, they come right out, fix it, replace parts.
How long is the lease?
60 months.
5 years.
Yeah, that's what we had last time with Rico, and they actually let us go over about 8 months without charging us because the company we had switched to never couldn't get our printer that we had a contract for because it was on back order, so.
What did we have with this other one? What-
Yeah. And the one right now,
So
we
can-
never paid
so,
for a
hold on one
contract.
second. So I'm gonna entertain a motion to approve the Rico lease.
So,
Second.
All right, now discussion.
That was very good.
So, all right, so where were you?
When we signed up with this new company, not Rico or Usherwood, I won't name them, but, we got promised all kinds of bells and whistles, and we were not delivered any of those bells and whistles, and finally, when Rico came to take their printer after we had to pay for it for 8 months, they had every right to do so, CBS finally got us, oh my god, I just said it. The company finally got us a used printer copier that had been returned to them. That's what we've been using. They've not charged us for it, so we have been getting it for free, but now they won't give us any more supplies, so we can't print, we can't copy,
Okay,
we can scan on it, and that's it.
all right, any more discussion?
gosh, no.
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, so that is
There.
the last thing on the regular agenda. Is there anything else that you wanted to add on, Ashley?
No, I'm good.
All right. Public comment period.
Well, a couple of events
You
coming
don't
up.
have to say anything, I mean, you waited.
Sure. Well, I don't want to leave you hanging here. A couple of events coming up. The 30th is the Oktoberfest at Common Grounds, fundraiser for Friends of the Townhouse, and October 7th is the fundraiser for the playground or town common at Harts. So hope people come out and
I hope so.
support both those causes.
And by the way, I've seen you guys out, just clobbering it out there, working at the parks and stuff, and it's been great to see you guys doing that, so. Have you gotten more help? 'Cause it's usually just the two of you that I see.
Rarely, right?
You can say no and ask for it.
Yeah?
Well, John and I are planning to do the diamond on Saturday, barring a hurricane.
Yeah.
Well, I think it needs to be noted that you guys are working really hard on taking care of stuff, and, you know, you need a little bit extra help. It wouldn't hurt people to, you know, sign up to volunteer and give you a hand on any particular day. So if there's anybody out there watching, feel free to contact us or the playground committee or Parks and Rec committee to, you know, give a hand keeping things neatened up.
Please, thank you.
Please.
Or just show up on Saturday at 9 o'clock. Just
All
say.
right. Anybody else? Anything? No?
I could probably put a
All right, I'll entertain a motion to, oh, wait a minute, we have announcements. All right. So we need resumes submitted to the senior center for the senior center director position, no later than Friday, September 22nd. We're looking for a new senior center. Michelle Thayer is the interim director. And then we are gonna be looking for, we're gonna be doing a local public access cable charter spectrum survey.
That should be on the website soon. Jake's putting it together. He's
Okay.
gonna send it over to me.
And that will be involved in our next charter agreement that we're gonna be working out, hopefully. So we've heard, you know, people have brought us their concerns about it, and we've reached out to local public access, and they're working on the contract. It is not us or LPAC that has been dragging feet on this. We've had difficulties reaching charter, so. Anyway, thank you to them to local public access and Ashley for working that out and trying to get that pushed along. What else?
That's it.
What about that letter from Big Dad?
Oh yeah, I put that in there just so you guys are aware. Here's a copy of it.
That's good news.
It is.
You wanna read it?
It's in writing.
Read it?
Sure. We've been working with Bay Path Regional Vocational Technical High School. We want to have them included on the project down at the Hux Building, the new highway department building that we purchased a year and a half ago down on Donovan Road. We have a letter from the Director of Career and Technical Education, Mr. James Tripp Okovicius, August 31, town of North Brookfield. Dear Mr. Petritis, this letter is to advise you that the Bay Path School Committee has approved your request for assistance from the cabinet making, carpentry, drafting, electrical, HVAC, refrigeration, and plumbing students to renovate the highway barn located at 65 Donovan Road. We look forward to starting the project after speaking with the highway director. Sincerely, James Tripp Okovicius.
And that's a nice letter, and it will save us some money on those renovations down there. So,
And they've done a lot of other projects, municipal projects
Yes.
in the area,
a
so
lot of similar.
this isn't their first rodeo doing a municipal building.
And I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
Discussion? All right, all in favor?
Go there.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you, everybody. Have a good night.